Hello students, today we'll do the online class of biology and the chapter name is life processes. Already we have observed the nutrition in plants and today we'll be studying that how the nutrition in human being takes place. Nutrition in humans has a various organs which helps in the digestion of food. Starting from the mouth, esophagus, which is also known as food pipe, stomach, small intestine, as well as large intestine. Children, there are various glands which are also helping in the digestion of foods, and the gland names are salivary gland, which is located in our mouth, liver, as well as pancreas, which breaks down food into simpler form, which helps in the digestion of food. Digestion of food takes place from our alimentary canal. The alimentary canal starts from the mouth to the anus. Children, now mouth region, it has a salivary gland. It has a long tube-like structure which is known as esophagus, or it is also known as food pipe. It has a J-like structure, an organ which is also known as stomach. The food comes here and after that it passes through the small intestine, and from here it goes to this large intestine where the absorption of the food takes place, and at last it is being ejected out from the anus. So there are various processes are there in our nutrition in human beings, starting from the ingestion, digestion, and it has a various parts of it. So ingestion tells us that it is a taking of food by our body. Okay, so from our mouth is a main important part of our body that in which the teeth are located and it helps in the taking of the food. The next one is the digestion. The digestion is been starts with the mouth itself because it has a salivary gland. As I have already told you that salivary glands are located which helps in the secretion of the saliva, and it contains an enzyme, and that enzyme is known as salivary amylase, which helps in the digestion of the carbohydrates into the simple sugar. And after that the food is partially digested here, it passes through this esophagus, a long tube-like structure which pushes the food down to our stomach. So esophagus is the esophagus is a part of our body which helps in moving the food down, and there is a movement which makes the food down is known as a peristaltic movement, which makes the food to comes down to the stomach. Now, if you observe here, the stomach is a J-shaped organ. You can observe it. The food comes from this esophagus or the food pipe. It comes down to the stomach. On the wall of the stomach, we observe the gastric glands are present. Okay, and these gastric glands are very important. As you know, children, this gastric gland secretes three very important things. The first one is the mucus. The second one is the enzyme pepsin, as well as the hydrochloric acid that we call it as HCl. Now this hydrochloric acid plays a very important role in the digestion of food. Now partial digestion of food takes place here in the stomach, and HCl, as it is an acid, so it creates an acidic medium so that this pepsin enzyme can act on the food. And what type of food will be digested? It is a protein which helps in the digestion. So HCl creates an acidic medium for the digestion of the protein by this enzyme pepsin, as well as mucus. Mucus protects the inner lining of the stomach so that the HCl should not disturb or it should not spoil the wall of the stomach. The another very important function of the hydrochloric acid is that it kills the harmful microorganism. So after the partial digestion of food takes place here in the stomach, the food reaches to the small intestine where the it is also known as a site of complete digestion, where the carbohydrates, where the proteins as well as fats are completely digested. So till now, children, we have observed that food starts from the mouth, it reaches to the esophagus, then to the stomach, and then to the small intestine. Here, the absorption also takes place. So inner surface of the small intestine, it contains a finger-like projection known as villi, which increases the surface area for the digested food, and it absorbs it, and after that it sends to our body for getting an energy. And after this, what happened? There is another process, we call it as an assimilation. The blood carries the digested and dissolved food to all the parts of the body, and it reaches to the various different organs of our body so that we can utilize, we can obtain that energy, and our new tissues as well as the old tissues can be built up. And the last one is when the food is completely absorbed, whatever the waste will be there, it is removed by the process of egestion through this anus. Okay, so this is what the process starts from the mouth to the anus, which we call it as a human alimentary canal. It takes place in our body. Now students will be discussing about few of the questions which are been you can see on the screen. Now the first question says that what are the functions of the acid in our stomach? Now this acid, I told you that HCl hydrochloric acid is secreted by our stomach, and the first and important function of this acid is that it creates an acidic medium for the digestion of the enzyme pepsin, and the second one that it kills the harmful microorganism in our stomach. The second question says, how would digestion of food be affected if the bile duct is completely blocked? Now you know that bile duct secretes its bile juice. It directly comes to the small intestine, and the small intestine is known as a site of complete digestion. Now if the bile duct will be completely blocked, then it means that there will be no secretion of the bile juice. And if there will be no secretion of bile juice, then it means that it will be no emulsification of the fats takes place, or no breakdown of the fat globules will take place. The third question says, name the first digestive organ that is associated with the breakdown of protein in the human body. Now, as I already told you that the food, when it comes through the esophagus, it reaches to the first organ of our body that is known as a stomach. And the stomach, it contains an enzyme which is known as a pepsin enzyme. So the three releases from the gastric glands which are present on the wall of the stomach are that it helps in the secretion of the hydrochloric acid, it helps in the secretion of the enzyme pepsin, as well as it helps in the secretion of the mucus which protects the inner lining of the stomach. Thank you.